here. Yeah, and you all are here for NID Studio Test, that I'm sure. So over to you guys. Many, many congratulations. Very happy to see such a amazing crowd here today for NID Studio Test and got a very good marks also, you know. Hmm. So now turn into rank 1, 2, 3 that I wanted to see. Right, Aditi? 39 से rank 1 लाना है आपको, है ना?
हाँ sure.
करोगे ना? 69 से अभी तो फर्स्ट राउंड में 69, 70 लाया तो और बढ़िया करना है. So over to you guys, and Tushar sir will take it forward. Thank you, sir.
Hello guys, good evening. First of all, congratulations to all of you, my lovely dear students who got selected in an ID paper one. I know it's very excitement for you to like crack up because it's all your hard work, guys. I'm just a mentor to you. I just guide you guys and all the other work you have done. And cheers for yourself, guys, because you did it. Like it's a the cutoff was so high this year, but still you make it. You know how hard work you did it. Okay, so congratulations to everyone. Aditi, Arushi, Adya, Anshika, all Tia, they all are my students from offline and online students, and I'm very proud of you all the guys. I'm proud of you all the guys who are just qualified for the paper one. So congratulations to everyone. And as soon as the results out, like some students just texted me at the 12:30 a.m. in the night, their results, they don't want me to sleep. And after that results, the people just asking me, what's the second phase? What is the paper two and everything? So I'm here to give you the brief discussion, what you're going to face in the paper two and what things you have to prepare. Okay, as the sir said, NID is very much into observation power and your creativity skills. Okay, whatever you've done till now, it's not the thing they will not ask again. They will ask again, but in different way. Okay, so you have whatever you have done, you have to just practice it, you have to improve it, and in the paper two round in mains, you have to kill it. Okay, so don't relax, guys. It's just a matter of 1 month. Give your 200% for the last time. Okay, and you will get the college, and we are more than happy for you. Kila, you will get a good college, and IT is very prestigious college, as you know. So I'm going to start my session. Like, what is the NID? How you gonna prepare it? What the things come into the NID? Okay. And after that, we will take the questions. If you have any question, just feel free to give it to me. Okay. And I hope everyone is qualified an ID paper one. Is anyone like who just because it's totally for paper two. We don't have a discussion of paper one. Okay. So guys, please whoever qualified paper one, stay with me. Now I'm sharing my screen so that we will start the session. Okay, guys, an idea studio test, a much awaited thing for me, for with my students. I really want to help them for the studio test, and I'll share my experience with you also, guys. So, like, you have to be like very, very serious. It's not like at all other exams, and IT is very serious about studio test. Okay. So first you have to understand what is NID. NID is international acclaimed as one of the finest education and research institute for industrial communication, textile, and its integrated experimental design. It is the statutory institute under the DIPT Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Government of India. Everyone is asking me why, sir, you started with this Gizapita PPT. But guys, when you go for the interview, right? See, NID changes its pattern every year. So when you don't know whether they're going to be have a PI or not. But if they are going to have a PI, you at least have the knowledge of initial what is NID, like from which government of India is undertaking the NID and what is the NID. Like definitely it's the question. Like why you want NID, why NID and what is NID. Okay, so you're able to direct answer rather than just revolving here and there. Guys, remember in NID your answer should be very, very direct. You can't rotate your answers here and there. Okay, so you should be crisp and you should be direct. So first of all, what are the comes into the paper pattern? If you see the various topics will be come into the paper pattern, the model making will become, the doodling will become, the how to evolve the idea. They also going to be judged. Audio visual exercises also judged. Material manipulation is also judged, and creative thinking will also judge. Okay, these all are the parameters on which you're gonna the examiner is going to test you to see whether you are perfect fit for NID or not. Okay, and these all are basic things. I know people all the students have so many doubts about what is audio visual quotient, what is doodling in modeling making with using of the gum or not gum. We are ready to give all the expert advice. We are so fulfilled with so many experts from the industry will which like who will give you the abundant knowledge about this. So guys, please take the advantage of everyone and see what the best you can do, because this is your last time and you just have to hit a sixer and you just win the match. It's just like that. Okay, so this NID will, so this kind of whatever I'm telling you right now, it's the most common thing and it's the most elaborated one. Some like for example, the last year PI will be cancelled, and they just done with the studio test and portfolio. Before that, the when it was online, then there was only PI and portfolio, and before that, all the three were there. So according to your curriculum, which will come with your after some days, we will decide how you have to proceed, but you at least you have a knowledge what you have to be prepared, what you have to do, and what you have to be prepared for the exam. So in studio test, they will ask you for material handling. Everybody knows about the model making. So an ID will ask, will is very particular about your thought process, your ideation, what the way you are thinking, what is into your mind, whether the model is working or not working. So sometimes they will allow you to use of the glue, and sometimes they will not allow you to without glue. Still, you have to make a model. Sometimes they will give you very random stuff like potato, wire, thread, clay, but you have to perform. In our coming classes, we're going to teach you the use of each and every material and how to depict your idea to through those material. But from your side, it should be, you should have to think creative. The creative thinking, just before I just mentioned, you have to think creative. Your thought process should be on the point, and you have to be like think out of the box. When I'm said okay, you have to think out of the box, that doesn't mean you have to make some rocket science. Okay, you have to see like you have a 1 hour of period of the time or 2 hour period of time or whatever the period of the time. In that period of time, in the given material, what the best you can do and which is different from others. That's only matter. Always remember, guys, unfinished work is always treated as unattempted question. So whatever you started, please finish it with good finishing. Okay. So that's what the NID will check, whether you are multitasking or not. At the same time, you're able to think. At the same time, what's your presence of mind, and what the change, if the last minute any changes required, whether you can take the changes or not. Okay. Sketching. Sketching is also come in the studio test in the time in the form of doodling, in the form of storyboarding, in the form of other thing. But sketching will come. Concept creation. Okay, guys, your concept is created. You can't copy which is existing. Whether you are doing some small changes, some small design change, but you have to do. You can't repeat whatever it's done, whatever you saw in the market. Your observation power is so strong that you are able to observe all the latest technology which comes into the market. And if you see, like if you, for it's a very small example, like you have to make a pen stand for a student, so you have to know what are the existing model into the market, so that you whatever you are designing, it should be little bit different and little bit creative. But you have the knowledge. So you guys start doing research as much as possible. Start observing when you are going to the market, when you are visiting any place. Start observing as much as possible, because all those observations going to help you in the exam. Okay. After that, portfolio session. In portfolio session, we're going to help you with to making all the paintings of all the mediums, 3D working model, textures, and your own artwork. If you are you want to go into a specific field or specific department, we're going to show, we'll give you some projects related to it so that you can show your expertise in that, so that your portfolio should be very direct. But the thing is, the first thing you have to decide what you have to do. Even if you are confused, if you want to explore many layers, many objects, many directions, then you have to do multiple projects. But it's completely on your choice. We are here to help you in any way. Whatever you decided, we are here to help you. Okay. In personal interview, they will ask you about you, your background, education, learning, and why NIT. Okay, guys. When in interview session, they will ask you like why NIT. What the first thing come into your mind? Just tell me. Anyone can answer? No one? Are there? Why NIT?
Sir, I mean, it's the most prestigious college. And when I joined coaching personally, all I ever heard about was NID, NID, NID. Like, NID
But
was the
NIT,
superiority.
but NID wants the well, I know what you are saying, but NID wants the
Mm,
more clearer answer. It's not just enough to say ki, like it's a prestigious college, that's why I want to join.
yeah.
It's just saying I want to like I want some toy because it's very famous. Does it useful to you or not?
Because I want to do
I
product
mean,
design and I want to learn what NID teaches.
So guys, you have to uh, frame your answer like that. It will become like
mm,
why actually you want an ID, why you actually want to do designing, what's your passion, what's your kick points, what's your kick, by the way, to do designing. Designing is not something which you can do just randomly ki कुछ नहीं मिला तो NID कर लिया. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Tus-
exactly.
Tushar sir, sorry to interrupt in between.
Yes, Mukesh sir.
Uh, Sir, student, I have just sent a one form link in the chat box. Please open that and just fill that form to get new updates all about the NID exam. And also, we will provide you the free and paid classes from this link only. Our counselor will personally contact you. So please, all of you, please fill this form.
Okay, guys.
Okay, Tushar sir,
So,
carry on.
yeah, thank you, Mukesh sir. So, guys, as Mukesh sir, please fill the form so that you will get the constant updates, and our counselor will contact you with better guidance, because I know everyone has its own question and own problem. The way counselor understands you, the way you need the counselor, the same way you have to tell the NID people why you want an ID. Okay. So, guys, do brainstorming, go to your basics, go to your roots, and go to that phase when you decided, okay, I want designing, I want to do designing. I chose designing rather than MBA, commerce, art, and whatever the fields present, doctor and other thing. Okay, it should be very concrete and should be very passionful. It shouldn't be like very raw. Okay, understood? Okay. Okay, material handling, guys. When we talk about the material handling, then the first thing comes into the mind is like paper. In paper, you will see like ivory, writing sheet, and all the different kind of paper. So in paper, we're going to teach you how to use of different kind of paper in making different kind of objects. Okay, if you're using ivory sheets, how to cut that sheet. If the thickness of the paper is too much, and if the thickness of the paper is like very thin, then how to use that particular paper in particular product. Basically, you have to understood, for example, like if the glue is not given to you, then how you gonna piece products? There are ways. We gonna teach it. Okay, but you have to learn there are so many ways where you can stick, where you can make a whole model without even a pinch of a glue or gum or any binding agent. Okay, but you have to understand what's the importance of paper, how paper can manipulate into different object and material and forms. Okay, plastic, glass and OHP sheets. Plastic is also very important. Plastic can give you the feeling of the glass. Plastic can give you the feeling of the shining. Plastic can use in various ways. So in where what kind of questions comes if the material given to you that, then how you will use that material, how you'll use plastic to showcase and the best use of the plastic, because generally you have just one sheet of the plastic. So whether you have to use the full sheet, whether you have the half sheet, whether you use the 1/4 sheet, but how you have to use it. You can see there are so many models which are so attractive with the plastic sheets and still they are existing. Okay. So in the NID, they will see more of the material handling, whether you can use this material in smart way or not. Okay. So you in NID, you have your answer should be very smart enough. Okay. Clay. Many people have like this doubt is, sir, will they ask you to do the pottery and this and that? I'm not confirmed about the pottery, but definitely they will give you the clay to make some small models, to some like, utensils or some other thing. You have to make it and you have to know how to use of clay. They are judging your versatility. If the, something different come into your hands, whether you're able to deal with it or not. So what they are checking your patience level. They are checking your creativity. They are checking your presence of mind. They are checking you what you able to do or not. Okay. So don't get worried if something ajeebs are come into the exam or something absurd come into the exam. You just know how to deal with that. Okay. And one material can use in different way. So always remember this. Okay. Okay. Corrugated sheets, wire, thread, glue, using glue or without glue, paper cutting storyboards. Guys, paper cutting storyboards, last year in NID, there was a question came where the question was that the shadow of different animals given. You have to identify an animal, then you have to make a cutout from a paper with details. And after that, you have to make the storyboard to showcasing the process which you have done just before. So now if you see, they judge everything in one question. They judge your material handling, they judge your doodling, they judge your storyboarding, they judge your creativity thinking also, and they also judge your thought process. So prepare like that. If the material handling, guys, get serious about the material handling, start exploring. Guys, every time the whatever you learn in the class, you definitely have to do with yourself at your home, whether it's online, whether it's offline. Okay. I think like most of the people have their exams over. So it's better you will spend all the time in doing this only. Okay. Okay, in sketching, what will become? In sketching, perspective will become, storyboarding will become, comic strip will become, texture creation will become, isometric projection will become, rendering and shading will become real life product replica, color will become, and live sketching will become. Okay. Perspective, sometimes they will give a perspective like right now you're, in which room you are sitting. You have to make a sketch of that room, imagining this thing is happening. Okay. So you have to be like, your presence of mind should be like that, and you have to answer that question according to the question. Storyboarding, just I told you, there are the multiple type of storyboarding, procedural storyboarding, which they will ask just right now. Okay. And other kind of storyboarding where you have to create a story, whether it's a fairy tale, whether it's a real life story, whether it's inspirational, whether it's a motivational, whether it's a, dramatic. So there are different kind of storyboard questions which I'll give you during the classes, and you have to do it. Comic strip. When the text entered into the storyboarding, it become a comic strip. So when you are doing the comic strip, it should be funny, it should be engaging, and people will not get bored easily. Okay. So there should be always a fun element in that. Okay. Textual creation. Sometimes an idea will ask you to have a visit of their center and to create a texture. Okay. Guys, in between, who is not fill the form, please fill the form. Okay. And don't miss out the form, because after that, when you try to, you will miss out all the important information regarding the NID, and you will not get the updates, and even I will not able to access to you guys. Okay. So if you want the correct guidance and correct mentorship, please fill the form. Okay. So texture creation. When I was telling about the texture creation, you have to see like the what kind of questions come to the NID. So you have to visit in the classroom or in the campus, and you have to identify 4 to 5 textures. And then you have to come back and you have to render those texture on your paper. So those kind of texture creation will become, whether it's a pen, it's a light and dark like black and white, or whether it's a colorful. Okay. Sometimes whatever the product you are making, model you are making, you have to draw that model also, and you have to explain it. That is also come under the sketching part. When you are sketching a product, like students who already studied to me, they know I always use isometry to show your product. Why isometry? Because isometry will give the maximum view of the product. So you have to use isometry. So that's comes into isometry projection. Or they will give you, you will have, so one question will be given, you have a bag where 10 items will be there, and they will blindfold you, and then you have to touch all the materials into your bag and identify 5 materials, and then you have to sketch it. Okay, here they will check senses, the touching senses of yours, whether you can identify your product or not. And when you are sketching it, then you have to use isometry. Okay, just don't draw 2D shapes or 2D figures. Use isometry. Okay. Rendering and shading. In rendering and shading, sometimes they will ask you to, they will ask you to go outside, observe a tree, come inside, and then draw that tree. When you are sketching that tree and they'll ask you render it, they want how many colors you will observe during when you visited to that tree. So your observation power should be that much deep so that you're able to capture all the color which is present in the tree. Because in the tree, what is the important? What is the shape of the tree? What are the shape of the leaves? And then what are the colors present in that tree? Nothing else. And all this thing you will get maximum 15 seconds. You will not get a lot of time to observe things. So guys, buckle up your belt and start your strong your observation power as soon as possible. Okay. The third thing, real life product replica and color. Sometimes they will put in the classroom, they will put some products and they'll ask you sketch it and render it. Or sometimes they'll ask you, there are the products who are lying on the table. If you were given the authority to do it in some other orientation or in some other way, how it gonna look like? That difficulty of the question can be also given. So you have to be prepared for that also. Live sketching. Sometimes they will ask you to sketch whatever you saw or whatever they are showing to you during the classroom. Okay, NID is all about presence of mind. Your brain should work on that time. If it's not working on that time, you can't, focus on the answers. So don't get distracted. Open up your every senses and sharpen your hand. Because in NID, you will not get much time. So in one go, you have to answer the question. I think like Adya, I think I'm asked you to sketch directly from the pencil colors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it helpful when you are writing the exam?
एग्जाम में वैसे आया नहीं था वैसे कॉमिक स्ट्रिप का, but yeah, it was helpful. Like I practiced with colors only.
Yeah, so if when you guys are practicing with colors directly, so if the comic strip will become, you can directly sketch the comic strip. Okay. Now, this is the part of the sketching question which comes in the exam. Now, experience. I think experience wale questions students are worried more. Can I have the hand raised, like who students like more worried about, sir, audio visual question में क्या आएगा, sound में क्या आएगा? Expected Adya. Anyone else who have this confusion? Aditi, you asked me today and you are
I
not raising
can't
the
find
hand.
the hand raising button.
Okay. Guys, so in audiovisual question, first I'll talk about the audio question. In audio question, they will, play multiple sounds and you have to identify that sound. That sound is of whether of animal, whether of human, whether of like scenario, like any, weather, situation, or incident. Incident like a man is walking on a wet grass. They just play the music for 1 or 2 seconds and you have to identify it. And they don't replay. So people who have having the habit of not listening it first time, please change your habit. Okay. In a also in sound question and audio questions are like that. They will give you, they will maybe they will play a short conversation about two people and they will ask you multiple questions on that. What the person is saying, what is the objective of that conversation, what the actually the conversation meant to you. Okay, such kind of questions which we gonna practice you in the sessions. Visual questions. In visual questions, sometimes they will show you short things of 1 or 2 minutes, or sometimes they will show you only the images on the screen. On the basis of that visual, you have to answer multiple questions. Like questions like, what is the color of the t-shirt with the boy is wearing? Okay, how many elements you can see in particular frame? Okay, what are the name of that, protagonist, best friends, brothers or mother's name? They will ask you little bit elongated questions, but questions comes like that only. Or sometimes they will ask you how you gonna title this video or image. Okay, so you have to deal that question. Well, during our sessions, I'm going to practice all these kind of questions, so you're confident enough. Whatever comes into the exam, I'm able to answer it. Okay, taste, feel, emotion. Sometimes they will give you multiple things to taste even. So guys, don't get afraid. They will not giving you any poison. They just have like salt, sugar, vinegar, soda, or something like that. You have to taste and you have to identify what is coming into your head. Sometimes they will ask you what feeling you will having after this tea. So if for example, like if the item is sugar, then you will have a very happy, joy, good feeling. If it's a salt, then you will be like crisp, naughty, and something like that feeling. If it's like sour, then it's like, I don't like it, it's very bad, and this sometimes you feel disgust. So you have to show that, you have to tell that. Now they will ask all these questions in various form, whether they ask you to sketch it, whether they will ask you to write it, or whether you'll ask you to just quote it. Okay. Emotions.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes,
Just give
yes,
me two
Mukesh.
minutes, sir.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
take your 2 minute time and please fill this form immediately. Only 15 responses we have got so far. There are 40 students in the sessions. Everyone, please fill this form. Take 2 minutes.
Guys, please fill the form. I'm just waiting for you next 2 minutes so that I'll start again. Guys, you have to be like very responsive. You have to respond as quickly as possible. It's NID.